Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we have a, I would say very first look, but it's really not. I've had multiple videos on this, but apparently it was another one that I completely forgot to do a meet of. So without further ado, the Tirpitz. We've got Henry J. Hyde as our commander here. We're running Andrew Cunningham and William Sims as our two inspirations. We've got Flammable Cannoneer. We've got Aladad, we've got Marksmanship, we've got Master Mechanic, and Running with Scissors. We are a level 16 Legendary 2 Captain. And if we look at the ship, we are running Aiming Systems Mod 1, we are running Damage Control System Mod 2, Target Acquisition Mod, and Main Battery Mod 3. For the loadout, we are running our community contributor flag. We have the permanent camo that comes with the Tirpitz. We are also running our epic battle booster, which we will remove for this video. I am running the spotter plane rather than the normal catapult fighter, and as you can see, we have 5 heals because of our current build. So, survivability 75,700 hit points, 22% torpedo damage reduction. Artillery of 380mm guns, 15-inch guns. It's got 8 of them, 2x2 at the front, 2x2 at the rear. They reload in 22 seconds, which is pretty good. 18.8 kilometer firing range with this build, which is nice. 180 degree turn time at 33.6, so not terrible. HE shell damage is 4,400 with a 34% chance to set fires, but more often than not, you're going to be firing AP out of this thing with 11,600 maximum damage. Secondaries, it's got quite a bit, just like the Bismarck does. You've got 105mm, 16 of them reach out to 5.8 kilometers and have a 5% chance to set on fire, and you have 12 150mm guns that reach out to 5.8 and have an 8% chance to set on fire. You also have torpedoes on the Tirpitz, which is the biggest thing that separates it between the Bismarck and it. So Bismarck doesn't get torpedoes, but it gets a really good sonar. Tirpitz does not get a sonar, but it gets the torpedoes. You have 8 torpedoes, 1 launcher on either side of the ship, 533mm. They reload in a minute and a half, and they do 13,700 maximum with a torp detectability of 1.3 kilometers. Torp range is only 6 kilometers, so keep that in mind. And they're medium speed torpedoes at 64 knots. Not the slowest, but not fast either. Maneuverability, 30.5 knots at top speed. And it turns in 850 meters, which isn't bad. Not quite as good as the Alabama, but not bad. Rudder shift time of 16 seconds, also not bad for a battleship. Concealment, 14.7 is right there, middle of the road, I think, for most battleships. It's not terrible detectability, but at the same time, it's not amazing. There are a few battleships that will have better detectability, I believe. But it's not bad. 14.7 for a battleship is kind of nice. Detectability by air is 12.3, and the detectability while firing in smoke is 14.1, so it basically makes no difference if you're firing in smoke or not. So, if we look at the overview, we got Ironclad, which is above average armor thickness, greater resistance to all forms of armor penetration, and it has superior AP damage, above average AP shell damage for 15-inch guns. One of the 2 mightiest battleships in the German Navy, akin to the lead ship of her class, Tirpitz had heavy ship armor, powerful artillery, and high speed. Weak horizontal armor protection was the main drawback of her design. But this was largely offset by improving her AA defenses. She entered service in 1941, and there were 2 of them built, aka Tirpitz and Bismarck. So, let's take a look at it. You know I like the camo of this thing. It's really nice. I like these nice camos. Like, it's just a clean camo. And it's a good looking ship. Even the Bismarck is, as much as I hate it, it's not a bad looking ship. So, yeah, there you go. The only problem that I have with the Tirpitz, and this is a big problem, is because it has those torpedoes, they are weak, man. Those torpedoes get knocked out so often, as you'll see in this match. Alrighty, so we're going to be on Greece, and it's going to be a domination, because every frickin' match that I play is a domination. I can't stand it. But we spawn in the north, which means we're going to push over to A over here, because that's the side we spawn closest to. And on this map, you have to control an outside edge. If you spawn at C, you have to try to take C. If you spawn at A, you have to try to take A. This map is all about crossfires. That's all this map is. So many people get so caught up in just sitting where they spawn because they can and shooting at stuff, and that leaves them vulnerable. So you really want to be aggressive early, take a location, and try to hold it. And unfortunately for us, we're going to find the entire enemy team, because my name is Spartan Elite 43, and that's all I know how to do. Wherever I go, the whole enemy team will follow. Guaranteed. So, we're going to push over to the right, try to get ahead of A. Even if we're not able to take A, we're going to try to hold it and keep the enemy from taking it, because this makes the enemy frustrated, and it denies them a cap. My team's going to frustrate the ever-living crap out of me in this match, and we'll try to talk about some of that as well. But, first of all, the concealment's going to allow us to get away with some stuff right off the bat, which you can't get away with in battleships very often, which is moving horizontal to everybody at the beginning, coming across this little gap. It almost always gets you detected in a battleship. But, fortunately for us, we're going to be able to get away with it, and we're not going to be detected until we fire the guns. And, luckily, Helena shows up just in time to make us fire the guns. Now, unfortunately, he is actually paying attention, because just at the nick of time, he turns in to avoid those shells. He almost could have gotten popped right there. That would have been disgusting. But he saw him just in time, manages to dodge. Now, we're lit up like a Christmas tree, and their entire team is looking at us. Now, I didn't know at the time, but there is a enemy player by the name of Wargasm that is actually in this match. He sent me a message after the fact. He's like, hey, good game, man. I was like, wait, you were in that match? So, had no idea he was even here. Apparently, he's in the Amagi. But we're not going to worry about that, because we got bigger fish to fry. We got the entire enemy team looking at us pretty much. We got an Iowa, we got a Roma, we got the Helena, we've got the Tirpitz that's going to be taking center stage. And unfortunately, this guy slows down just enough in the Helena to avoid getting obliterated once again. But we did take all of his health at that point, and you can just see we are getting absolutely punched. And I don't know if you guys noticed it or not, we already lost our port side torpedo launchers. The first time that they got hit, they were completely destroyed, which is my biggest grief about this ship. Like, half of the fun of this ship is being able to torp things that get close to you. And this match in particular would have been real handy to have those port side launchers. But, unfortunately, it was not meant to be. We lost them immediately. So we're going to get to play this ship as the absolute damage sponge that it is. And we're also going to be hugging this island, because we are currently surrounded. Now, there's going to be some mistakes made in this match. Not so much by me, because I knew I was going to get punished for pushing up this hard this early. Especially on this side, because this is the side that the enemy tends to, or the south tends to, like, flock towards. So I knew that I was going to be in trouble in that sense, but it was a calculated decision. I get over here, they can't take this base too. They're already taking C, they've already got B. I don't know how they managed to capture B with my entire team sitting there, but it is what it is. They've captured B. I'm going to have to try to fight these guys off. Now, luckily for us, Roma comes out broadside on and just begging for it. So we aim a little bit high, and really, we hit him with 3 rounds. He is 6 kilometers from us, and we hit him with 3 rounds. Welcome to German dispersion, guys. Come on. Surely we can't get robbed twice, right? Now, he's angled slightly here, which isn't the best shot for me, but he just got punched. And then we're going to go ahead and punch him once again. This time we got 6 hits, 3 of them shattered, unfortunately, but we at least got 6 hits. He goes down in quick succession. We're on fire. We've only got 20,000 hit points left, but it's okay. You know why it's okay? Because we don't care. Now, the one downside about having Henry Hyde as your commander is you don't have the, what is that new, the Will to Rebuild perk. You don't have it. You have Running with Scissors. And in a situation where you're trying to hold a cap, and on a small map like this, the will to rebuild will save your life, as we saw with me and the Yamato a couple videos ago. It's an unbelievable perk now with the legendary buffs that they just did. Now, I can't back out and do anything with the Iowa. You see, as soon as I look at the Iowa and try to figure out whether he's trying to flank me or if he's pushing in, if you look at the mini-map, he's clearly headed back towards his team, towards the center, so I'm not having to worry about that. Unfortunate also for me, because I have torpedo tubes that are still active on the right side of my ship, just not on the left. But we're about to get some teammates that just decide to throw their ships away, and the enemy is also going to do the same. Now, they've already lost 2 destroyers, a cruiser, and a battleship at this point. So their team is hurting early. And part of this is due to my team being in a bunch, and part of it is just my team being in a bunch is actually causing us some grief here. Because while they are able to, clearly they're able to shoot things, and whatever they can actually shoot at, they can all shoot at, which means bad things for the people that are on the receiving end. But we're sitting here, and there goes our Iowa, broadside onto a Tirpitz, well within torpedo range of the Tirpitz. So, you know what's coming. Everybody with a brain knows what's coming, and clearly that Iowa had no clue. So you can see we're trying to nickel and dime the Tirpitz, shooting into the superstructure. We're getting a little bit of damage here and there. It's going to take some time. Tirpitz, the Bismarck, if they're angled well, they're a hard ship to take down. Now, obviously, with the superstructure giving you all that damage, it's not impossible, but that's the whole point of the superstructure damage that you get off of the American and the German battleships. Because if you didn't have that, it would almost be impossible to kill a Bismarck or a Tirpitz or a Iowa that is bow tanking. It would be almost impossible. Just because the way the game is. Like, if they left the Germans and the American superstructures as normal HP pulls, like you would get on the Amagi or on the Jean Bart or on any of the other ships that don't have really, really HP heavy superstructures, they left that, and you can see here, I forgot I actually had my torpedoes knocked out because I was measuring up the Iowa. Either way, it doesn't matter if I had my torps knocked out or not. This Iowa's coming around the corner, broadside onto a Tirpitz that has a hybrid build that is fully ready to punch him in the mouth as we get 20,000 damage off of him right there. Our secondaries just firing away, going crazy. As you can see, they're not that effective. We're this close to this ship, and we're hitting, what, 7 shots now? 8, 9? We're getting a couple hits here and there, but not nearly enough, and then we go ahead and finish off the Iowa with that salvo. We are down to just a single heal left. You can see how having these 5 heals allows us to sit here. We're not in the best position for this Tirpitz. This Tirpitz is across from us, could easily be hitting us with AP and doing some serious damage. But we keep kind of getting away with it. Now, I say that as he fires his guns, and he takes a pretty good chunk off of us immediately, and then I repay them with another 8,000 damage to him. But you can see that we're both very susceptible. He's much better angled than I am, but I'm still hitting his superstructure and getting a lot of penetrations. And here we're going to shoot towards the front because he's clearly trying to go forward. Me and him are both just doing this little dance right now where we're just going forward, reverse, just trying to play a game of chess right now. Who's going to live longer, who's going to be able to get more damage per salvo, and who's going to win over time. Now, he switched to HE and gets 2 fires on me, which is definitely not preferable. I do have 1 more heal, so it's not the end of the world here, but we don't exactly want it, that's for sure. So we catch him on our way forward, hoping to get some shots into him. Wasn't meant to be. We bounced 2 rounds off of him. We're burning. We're going to get our damage con back in 8 seconds. And then, I'm not going to lie, I kind of goof right here by throwing up my damage con as soon as it becomes active. Or not even as soon. There was 6 seconds left on the fire, and I used my damage con, which could have been a stupid mistake. Luckily, my team has officially won C. They've got C. Our guys are starting to push forward from the middle, and they're not long for this world. Now, this Tirpitz has got to be salivating, because once again, he's got 2 more battleships in front of him that he could torp if he gets a chance. We're still nickeling and diming him. The Roma's already gone. All that's left is the Tirpitz. And Tirpitz manages to, I believe, knock out one of these guys with torpedoes right here. Yep, down he goes, Amagi. Oh, that was Wargasm. He was on my team. That's why he was in the match and I didn't notice him. But, yeah. So, he ended up getting torped. And then we've got the Tirpitz going down by the Jervis, getting a fire on him right at the last second. But we end up with 2,600 damage, 168,000 silver. So not too bad, 118,000. Not a bad game. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.